Hi, my name is Saifullah Sheikh. Today I am going to discuss about my project implementation, and here's my topic: improve the detection accuracy and performance of intrusion detection system using deep bidirectional method. So here's my project details. I am working on Google Collaboratory. It's a Google Cloud platform that allow us to run and execute our project here. And here's my OneDrive that I've loaded all my data set and everything here. I just open it into the Google Collaboratory. So here's my project detail over here, as you can see here. Yeah, so I imported pandas and numpy, that is predefined package library for the use of pre-processing of data, and min-max scaler is also imported to scale the data for deep learning. Seaborn is used for plotting and data visualization. It is built on top of the matplotlib to basically plot the data for visualization thing. And then here we imported model from Keras library, and these are the thing for neural network, as all these are the major package for deep learning which we imported from Keras library. Like we can see here, imported model, dense layer, LSTM, bidirectional, dropout, input layer, and everything we loaded here. Then after here we just loaded our data set here for training and testing. So then it will go through on training, and the remaining will pass through on to testing. So that the data set is used as input the PD library function, like pd.read.csv we used here is a function to read the data set for both train and test. So after loading the data set, we executed it and it's successfully loaded here. Then afterward we have to plot the attack types and its count. So we just did it, and we gave the figure size in count plot, and in next line we use Seaborn for the theme and style, as there are lots of Seaborn themes like white, grid, dark, and many more. So we chose just random theme dark grids. So we plotted the data to know the attack type, and we passed the train data. This plot shown like normal, backdoor, analysis, and you can see here, and the count plot as well. It's shown the number of occurrences for each attack category, and basically it mainly shows how many attacks which are repeatedly occurs on total data set, like we have plotted here. As we can see here, all the thing is here. Yeah, so now we will do the pre-processing task. In the pre-processing step, we use train.is something to return the number of missing values in each column and count total missing value data frame. This is what we do in data pre-processing to eliminate any missing values. So here, as we can see, these are the feature which shows that 0 means this feature is having null missing values. So after checking that there is no missing values, then we move on a feature selection. We will move on feature selection. So here we used a unique feature selection technique that is called correlation technique. So it will show based upon the label, each and every feature are correlated. So likewise it will remove the less correlated values, like as we can see here, like minus values and positive values as well. So negative value, it means less correlated, and positive value, it means more correlated. So we dropped all these feature, like you can see here, deload, swing, attack kit. So these are the things that we drop because all these contain unwanted data. Then train and test label will be saved. Then we copied all the thing into the training label, temp train, testing label, something like that. So that was our correlation feature that we applied. Then in the next line, we just here new dummies column, we created new dummies column. Here we created dummies column by using Python function getDummy for the purpose of data manipulation, and it basically converts all categorical string data into form of numerical. So here we converted the categorical data such as proto, service, state into numerical indicators value. So as we can check it as well, like suppose if I type here UNSW, let's run. So here, as we can see, all our data in numeric form. You can see here it's proto, service, and at the end we can see the state as well. These all are in the numeric form. However, if we go a little bit up, and if we just press train here to load our data set, then we can see here proto, service, state, all these things are in a string format. So we just converted all the string into the numerical form here. Yeah, and then we did the normalization of numerical values. In UNSW value, it contains all the label like normal and abnormal. So we have just taken all the thing and store in a separate folder. So yeah, like UNSW drop, I dropped the label here, UNSW.drop. Now we are taking all the value in arrays format. Yeah, so then in the next step we did the min max scaling. It is scaled based upon the minimum and maximum value. So basically it goes through the data set and then it will check the lowest minimum values and highest maximum value. So based upon that, it will divide all the data set into maximum value and lowest value. So likewise, it divides all the thing accordingly. While so the main purpose of doing this is that it will convert all the feature into float values like 0.001, 0.1. It will be changed. So for that reason, one consists of more memory as compared to 0.01 or any other float value. So if we pass 0.001, the training time will be reduced obviously because less consumption, it requires less memory as well as compared to the passing 1. So that's why we carried out the total data. Here we have scaled total data set in train set and test set. So yeah, that's the thing. So then afterwards we did the model pre-processing. So in the model pre-processing stage, we are just splitting the data like train label, test label. So I split all the data. I just make the original copy of the data into train label, test label. At the end, we printed the shape. Then afterwards, yeah, we are just making another copy in order to pass into the neural network like train all label, test all label. So in the next step, now we have to specify the time steps for LSTM neural network. So here I assigned time step equal to 1, and it's up to us to define any value, but actually I got better accuracy in time value 1, time steps 1, that's why I assigned 1. So then here, based upon that, we are splitting all the value in time step value. 172032 is the train value and train label, and 81920 is the test value and test label. So and we also used here time series generator, the last line you can see here, to pass the train label and test label into generated form. So neural network accept in this format. So here we processed all the data, and now it should be to pass to deep bidirectional LSTM model. So here our classification model which we declared here, deep bidirectional LSTM method here. So this is the package. So we have imported just it, and LSTM, this is the LSTM architecture, and we have to declare between the bidirectional, and we also assigned here unit which is unit 24. To unit 24 is nothing, just it's a number of neurons which we passed into a feature. So here 24 neurons can pass in a single time. So like this we have declared. And activation function, here we use Tana. We use Tana for implementing my process because as compared to other activation function, it is better. So basically it is very common to the sigmoid activation function. The Tana function range is from -1 to 1, we can say. And we also use the return sequence equal to true, because at first iteration it will learn some features. So feature means if the value is coming, so it will be normal. So return sequence means what will be what we call it, it's underfitting or overfitting. So we have to avoid this. So in order to prevent this overfitting issue, we reduce the dropout layer. As we can see here, the dropout layer is we set here 0.1. So it will take the feature, and after that it will check the result again. So whether the result improve or not, likewise it will check every layer. Now it will check 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 4 and 0.5. So I would say more than 0.5 it will check the iteration. It sends more data, and there will be too much data loss while running the code. So for that reason, we must reduce the dropout, like it should be between 0.1 to 0.5. So to learn the feature using Tana, as it deliver better training performance for multi-layer neural network. For the LSTM layer, as we can see here, three basic function: Tana, sigmoid and ReLU. So the BiLSTM layer, and then that layer will pass to the dense layer, which consists of ReLU. And at last, for classification, we have used sigmoid function here. We also used optimizer, which is Adam, and the last we can see here Adam, and Adam is the most popular optimizer which is used for classification, and here learning rate is 0.001. So it will learn in keen manner and learn accurately. So then we will move to the next model fitting step. So yeah, so after the model declaration, yeah, we have to compile it first. So here classifier is the model name, and here we use binary quotient trophy. So that's it. Then we will use the model fitting. Here our file path, that is model.hdf5, which is the extension to get the trained model, and checkpoint, this is a callback, and here's monitor equal to val underscore accuracy. It's just a validation accuracy. It will check the validation accuracy each and every iteration. The accuracy does not improve gradually, means then it will automatically stop the iteration. Here we just fitted the model, like classifier is our model name, so it will just go to the 50 iteration. As we can see here, it we assigned epoch equal to 50. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so then that's it. Then it will execute, and at the end it will run till the 50 iteration, and we can say at the end, we can see in the last line we got 93.3 accuracy, so there is no improvement on it. So validation accuracy did not improve from 80.81377. So it will automatically stop the overall iteration, and then we will move to the next, which is our graph model accuracy. So we plotted this thing, like we can see here our train and test model accuracy, which goes from we start from the 0.55, which goes to above 90%. Yeah, so as we can see here, and in the model loss, our loss is started from 90 to it goes till the under 20, 0.20 something. This is the thing. And here our model prediction, and yeah, here's our model prediction. So now this is the model prediction. So here I just load my model.hdf5 and predict all the data. So based upon that binary entropy, it will consist of like what can say validation matrix. So for it I have to specify the threshold value. Threshold value here is y underscore pairs 0.5, and less than 0.5 means 0, and greater than 0.5 it means 1. So that's why we specify the threshold value, and we will predict based upon that. Then later we have a performance metric to get the result, overall result. So in the performance metric, our predicted variables will be stored in label original in model prediction. So our predictor variable, like we can say here, it's y underscore pred, where we saved the thing. The imported function of testing, the accuracy score, confusion matrix, classification report were obtained from the library of scikit-learn matrix that we imported. I obtained a key value feature like F1 score, precision, recall, and with the help of same classification report function, in the final step of the testing stage, I obtained a confusion matrix that was completed with the help of scikit-learn matrix library function confusion matrix. So here I also got my confusion matrix details for true positive, true negative, false positive, and false negative. And here overall I got accuracy of 90.9149%. It is 7% greater than as per the previous research that I was referred my the paper. And here's our precision, recall, F1 score, and everything is over here. So basically I use the CMS novel concept here for because CMS is nothing, it's a it just follow the protocol. Like in first step we have to learn the feature, and second step we have to extract the feature, in third step we have to pass the learned feature to another neural network architecture. So this is the basically concept that is known as CMS architecture. So we adopted this novel concept to get the higher accuracy, as our model is completely different from normal by LSTM architecture. So we got the expected accuracy. That's it. Thank you.